Okay, we're going to be making country crunched bread. And as you can see, the recipe card's dirty, so that means that I have made this before. And so we're going to start off, and Grant's going to show us all the things that we need. Let me get focused in here. Okay, first we're going to need some sugar. I think probably about a half a cup of that. We're going to need 2 packets of dry yeast, right there. We're going to need 4 tablespoons of oil. We're going to have to beat 2 eggs. And we're going to have 6.5 cups of flour. And we are going to be using all-purpose flour because I have no self-rising flour, but that's okay. And then we're going to need 2 cups of warm water to melt our yeast in. So Grant, are you ready to do this?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay. And Grant and Wyatt have washed their hands and they're all clean and ready to go. So we'll meet you at the bowl. Okay, so Wyatt's got our 2 cups of warm water, and Grant is beating our 2 eggs. Let's just show them this fun little thing here.
It's lubricating.
I found this in my grandmother's things, and it's really fun, and it is a little egg beater. So we're going to let Grant finish beating those eggs. Alright, Wyatt, now you're going to take 2 packs of yeast, and we're going to start pouring it into the bowl. Take the water, warm water, and then take 2 packs of that yeast. Okay, now get you a spoon. And you're going to dissolve the yeast. What?
It's only 1 pack.
Okay, we need 2. That looks fabulous. Thank you. Set it off to the side. Okay. Grant, why don't you stir that while he's pouring that. Now, do you know what yeast does? You're going to have to speak loud.
It makes bubble bubbles.
It makes bubble bubbles, but actually it's called leaven, and it makes the bread rise. You got some up there on the side you need to give. There you go. Okay, so we have got the yeast. Okay, so we've got the yeast. We poured in half a cup of sugar. Grant, what'd you do? Put the eggs in? Okay, so now we're going to put in 4 tablespoons. Whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, we are going to put salt in because this is not self-rising flour. So keep stirring that. I need the salt too. Here, I'll stir and you get me the salt down, please.
Shorty.
Thank you. Alright, and it's going to take 1 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to go down to the next measuring spoon. Here, Grant, why don't you put that in there? Okay, pour it in there. Okay. Now, the next thing we have to put in is the flour. And we're going to stop just a minute because what I want us to do, we're going to take and pour the flour into a big bowl so we don't have to stand here and measure and all that right here in front of the camera. But we will be right back with the flour. Okay, we're back now, and we have measured out 3 cups of flour in here. And Wyatt wants to experiment with this very old antique sifter. And the sifter makes the flour really fine. The recipe doesn't call for it, but we know Wyatt, he likes to mess around. So we're going to start in by putting in, now you're going to have to sift it, and Grant, you keep stirring it. Now you're going to find out you're going to get tired of that really fast in a minute.
Me?
No.
Oh, get Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you can try it after a few minutes. I'll try it.
Gonna try it? Okay. Keep going. Don't put your hands there. Okay. Whoops. There you go. Okay. Now we're going to, what does it say here?
Here.
Beat smooth. So you're going to let y'all beat it. Beat it! Beat it, beat it. No, with a spoon, Wyatt. Be sure you get, you boys are so
can I have
there. Another what? Yeah, hold on just a second. There you go. Yeah.
Slapper spoon.
Now this is not a sword fight, so just get in there and whoop that stuff. Whoop that bread.
Okay.
Does that look smooth to you?
Kinda.
Is there any lumps in that? Nah.
Oh, that stinks.
It has
Yeast in it.
yeast.
Yeast infection.
Wyatt.
What? That's technically what it is.
Okay.
It's a meat beater. What?
Okay. Now, what does it say we do next, Grant?
I don't know.
Okay, because we just...
Neither can
I would not even tell that.
What?
Okay, it said to beat smooth. Mix rest of flour to handle. Now, so how much? We put in 3 cups, and it was supposed to use 6.5, so how many more cups of flour do we need? Are you going to sift it, or are you just going to put it in there?
You want to sift it?
You want to sift it? Okay, you can sift it. Sifting's optional, but...
You take the other one and
Yeah, okay.
How many does it say? 6?
You need 3.5 more. Not right now. Go ahead, start sifting.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Here, now look, you gotta hit the sides of it every now and then. 2.
Frick, yeah, that's tiring.
Do what?
So yeah, that's tiring.
I'll do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
I like doing it.
Okay, now this is, we're putting this in here so that we can actually handle the dough. Because as soon as we get this in there, we start kneading it. That's the great fun.
We have to actually touch it?
Yeah, you gotta touch it.
Yay.
Your hands clean?
Grant likes touching it.
Are your hands clean?
Yeah.
You haven't been,
Somewhat clean.
you hadn't picked your nose or scratched your ears or anything. Okay. You hadn't been out there petting the goat.
No.
I pitted the dough.
Did you wash your hands?
No. This is going to have foreign contaminants in it.
Oh, hush. All right, I think that's got you straight. All right, now we're going to shut it off now. And when we come back, we're going to start kneading the dough. Okay. Now we're kneading the bread now. And let me just show you right here. Wyatt. And it says to knead it 10 minutes. And I don't know about you, but I don't know if I'm that patient. But now what if I put a little bit more flour, just kind of Sprinkle it on the board there. Right on top of the... No, on the board. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Need that dough. Need that dope. Need that dope. Need that nope. I need thee every hour. Oh, precious bread.
Yes.
Break thou the bread of life, dear Lord, to me. As thou did break the loaves beside the sea. But y'all don't know that song, do you?
No.
I'm a failure as a grandmother. Okay.
Just randomly as we're making bread, I'm a failure.
Okay. So while they're kneading the bread, I am going to turn off and I'm going to go clean off the bowl and get it ready for us to let it sit and rise. Smack that bread there. This is a good way for y'all to get lists. If you want to beat up something, now's your time. Beat that bread up. There you go. Okay. Now we're going to have greased the bowl with the spray. Now, when I was a kid, we just used shortening or oil. And I'm using my mother's Pyrex bowls, which are now antiques. So that tells you, boys, that you are, besides being doofuses at this time, getting ready to use Meemaw's things. All right, roll it up. Let's get it into a nice...
Round
There
shape.
you go. Yeah, there you go. Now bring it and put it here in the bowl.
Can we watch it, guys?
Yeah. No, you don't have to do that. Just set it down. Just set it down in there. Now we're going to cover it with a cloth.
It's gonna be a weird shaped piece of bread, Grant.
Huh?
It's gonna be a weird shaped piece of bread.
No, we've got to knead it again after we do this. More kneading. And then we're going to put it over here on the back of the stove in a warm place.
Come on, Grant,
So
let's get
there's
on the
our
slab.
bread in the bowl. And we're going to come back in an hour. That's good, boys. And we are going to see what we got. It's supposed to double. Yay. Okay, the bread's out of the oven now, and I bet you can just smell that right here. Here's Wyatt's. He sliced the top of his. I don't know. Do you want to pop it out and slice some of it, or
I was gonna wait.
you were going to wait? Well, we'll slice mine then.
I was gonna wait till tomorrow.
Okay. Well, we'll slice mine. We'll put yours out of the way. So let's turn it out. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. Isn't that pretty?
Bread.
Okay, and we use a serrated edge. Kind of saw it. Look at that. Is that not lovely? Does that not smell delicious?
Let go.
You're gonna make her scream.
I found it.
I know they were in my room. Let go.
You got the trick.
Here you go, Harper. You want to buy this bread?
No.
Well, what'd you want to make it if you didn't want to eat a bite of it? It's hot.
You
Okay.
got the secret.
What do we think?
Smelled like, it smelled like, what do you call it, grilled cheese and shop.
Oh, really? Let's put a little bit of butter on there.
You want Mom?
I gotta take Grant to his daddy, so.
Huh?
I'll take Grant to his daddy.
He's not here.